Yeah, like courage is not the absence of fear, but it's being able to persevere through that fear. I mean, I would probably count 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 people when they're doing their first experience in whatever it is. I was scared to public speaking. I was scared to play music in front of a crowd. I think even people who, once they move up, they get scared. They had a small audience and now their audience is this big, and all of a sudden their stage fright comes back. Well, what really matters is, do you go through with it or not? Do you say, okay, I'm a little bit scared here, I'm a little bit intimidated, something may not work out, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to try and see where this opportunity takes me. And that's literally, for me, every day I wake up, I'm looking for something that won't necessarily scare me, but will inspire me to go through an experience where I can learn something and then take another opportunity to get better and better.
And what you were just saying, Cream, I was just thinking about a lot of people that have been in Toastmasters. And I've been in Toastmasters, and people will say, oh, I can talk to 2 or 3 people, but they have a hard time talking to hundreds of people. But it's what you've got to do. It's just a mindset, and there's really no difference. You just, it's just a fear that, sometimes you blow it in front of a lot of people. If I think that's where their fear is coming in, but they can talk to one person, you can talk to hundreds of people. So, I don't know if that's on point or not, but you just got to go out and do it, and just let it all hang out. If you don't, then you're going to miss the boat.
That's a good point, Bill. I like that a lot.
But I'm going to have to get going, guys. So you have a great evening.
You too.
Thanks, Bill.
See you later.
Yeah, that was totally on point.
Sort of going off of what he was saying, that ties in a lot to, just general persistence as it is. Like I don't know, I've probably told at least you, Kareem, before, but I suffer from extreme social anxiety, which is weird because everybody always tells me, like, how you have an anxiety disorder? How do you get on stage and perform in front of people? And I'm just like, I just do it. I don't think about what bad is going to happen out of it. I don't think about having a panic attack all the time. If the more you think about it and the less you do about it, the more you're going to feel anxious. And, it's just something you learn over time.
Yeah. I used to have the same thing when I was in band. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to drop my drumsticks. My guitar's not going to work. And then even I had a situation where that happened. I just got another one and borrowed one, and then got the one guitar that wasn't working to work. So yeah, sometimes I even have a little bit of anxiety. But when the lights go off, or the lights go on rather, sometimes depending on the venue, when the PA gets in and then they just kick the music and we start off with our intros, I'm like, let's gonna tear it up. And then these upcoming shows, I'm just gonna go crazy. I don't know what I'm gonna do, and like start maybe burning cards on stage and doing backflips, and because I know that it's gonna be an amazing opportunity. Instead of worrying about everything that could go wrong, think about everything that could go right.
Yeah.
Just jump in there and get with it. Like most musicians I know that are accomplished, they're not sitting there thinking I might play a wrong note. They're just really into it, and they always get through. And I wouldn't have realized that because we joke so much sometimes before and after.
That's the thing. Like, you can't be afraid to, look stupid or anything. Like, like not even just music, really anything you do. You just you can't be afraid of who you really are. And that's the fun thing about life, is whatever you sort of find yourself going into, whether, you're, trying out for a wrestling team, or you're joining a band, or doing whatever, you're doing what you want to do, and that defines your lifestyle. So just be you.
Yeah, see, I can kind of go with what Kareem's talking about, playing in the band, because I played the violin, and I actually got to in my hometown, I actually got to perform at the opening day ceremonies with a bunch of other students from around the city at the World's Fair in 1974. So talk about huge crowds. We had, I think that was President Gerald Ford or Jimmy Carter. I can't remember who which one was which. But we had one president there when we were opening, and so I mean I had thousands of people watching, but I didn't focus on that. I focused on what I was doing and performing, and excited about being performing. So in that sense, you know, I get the, you know, I understand what you guys are saying about once you get there, you get into it, and you kind of click on. Once you start, for me, it was rosining up my bow and checking my strings and making sure, you know, it was tuned right and everything like that. And then once we got the cue, the conductor was up ready to, all eyes focused on there, I shut off the rest of the world and just got into what I was doing.
That's one part of calculated risk. I don't worry about the whole world. The whole world's doing its thing. The grass is out there growing. The grass doesn't go, hey, is somebody upset? I mean, if it does, I just take the lawnmower and shut it up. Saying the sun doesn't worry about, do I have to shine? The moon doesn't worry about, do I have to come up at night? Same with the clouds. I don't ever see a cloud having anxiety, or I don't ever see a wave going, am I going to crash on the beach? I don't know. So for me, it's like being a cloud, being like a wave, being like a planet, being like a star, just doing my thing. Not worrying about what could, would, should, maybe will happen. Because if I know if I do that, then I actually will. And then people will notice it. They'll notice it on camera. They'll notice it when I give speeches. They'll notice it when I play live, and they'll notice it when I'm at my job, or if I send Fiverr gigs that I'm not sure about. I can actually say every Fiverr gig I've done that I was uncertain about generally has come back with a revision. But the ones I was like, I nailed that, I did nail it.
Yeah. Sorry. No, yeah, definitely. Risk is all about what your ambitions are. I think. There's really like a cause and effect, which I can kind of like go towards risk in a way. Things you do every day. You wake up in the morning, you say, yeah, do I want to make pancakes and be bloated, or do I want to eat cereal and be okay, or do I want to eat an apple and be healthy and keep the doctor away? It seems like everything you do just like calculates, into some type of risk whatsoever. So my advice is just go with your gut feeling, make a smart move, and just sort of play along with it. You can only play with the cards that you're dealt.
Totally agree. Yeah, it's really not a hard concept. It's a simple concept, but a lot of people don't take the time and look at it. So
Yeah.
if you take the time and look back, you'll find that not taking the risk was the bigger risk. That if you had looked back and just said, I'm going to burn the ships and do what Chris just did, do what I'm doing, and just say, hey, I'm going to go for it. I can't tell you how many people ask, well, the Power Hour's cool. Well, your band's cool. Well, Fiverr's cool. Everything I do that's not my job, because obviously they've been trained and conditioned. I say, well, that's cool, but that's interesting, but where's it taking you? I say, I don't know, but I kind of like that. Getting a paycheck every 2 weeks is expected. That's fine, and make sure that, I'm okay. However, it's a lot more exciting to say, hey, what am I going to do today in my freelance?
Yes,
what am I going to
exactly.
do today music-wise? What am I going to do today entrepreneurial-wise? I don't know. I don't know where it'll take me. Maybe Grant Cardone will hit me up in a couple of weeks. That's the excitement about it. It would get boring if I said, I know everything that's going to happen. I know work's pretty standard. I think that's why people get bored of the 9-to-5 jobs, mainly is because same exact thing. I can go in there, say the same thing, do the same thing, meetings at the same time, talk to the same people, do the same routine over and over. And I'm like, I need some spontaneity. I need some excitement. It's like Alan Watts said. He said, the simple answer to miracles is just believe that you're God and that everything you imagine can happen. But then you would get pretty bored after a while because you would know everything that's going to happen in advance. So you'd wish for a surprise. And then you find yourself as a human being at this mastermind.